Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Just Fixing Stuff. On this one I'm going to show you how to replace more or less the cartridge or the guts on a standard, this one happens to be a Waltec two-handle bathroom basin faucet. So essentially you just have to find wherever there is a cap on top of the handles, and this one, a lot of times they'll have a place you can find to kind of work a small screwdriver in there and just start slowly making your way around and until you get the cover off. And so I'll try on this one too. Oh, that one came off a little easier. Now from there you'll see there's some Phillips screws. They're just little set screws that just hold that handle in place on each side. And Waltec is quite a popular brand for certain things in Canada. It's actually, I do believe, owned by Delta Faucets, which is quite a large brand as well. More or less, they all have their own little flavor, but usually once you pop the handles off, for a Waltec, it'll just have either this style, which is called a Del X cartridge, and I can put this a link to these in the description. These ones here are a little trickier. You can also just get standard, usually the brass cartridges that will have some kind of rubber washer on the bottom. Those ones tend to be a little bit easier to repair. These ones here, they're still easy or still doable, but they just require a little bit more patience, I would say. So then you'll take these little packing nuts off each of the sides, and obviously if this was hooked up to supply water, you would first and foremost make sure that the water is in the off position for both hot and cold. And so from here, sometimes because there is a little groove where this plastic on either one of these that seems to fit right in this brass threaded portion, so you might have to wiggle them back and forth a little bit, give it a little bit of elbow grease, and this one, yeah, there we go. So as you can see, I don't know if that's possible to see that, but if you look right in there, let's see, you can see there's a rubber washer, and that right there is actually a seat, is what they call it. So it's called seats, and below that is a little spring, and I'll show you. I'll just get my little tiny one, and be careful with these. This is the part that can be a little tricky. So that right there is your seat. And that right there is your spring. Now, if I was going to be reinstalling this faucet somewhere, I would get a brand new set of these, which I can also put a link in the description to those. And then from there, you would take this, put it back in there, a nice fresh brand new one, put that in that little orifice that down there, and then you would have this sitting on top of that spring so that when you put the cartridge back in, there is some tension holding the seal or the seat firmly up against the actual cartridge, bottom of the cartridge itself. And these cartridges, just so you're aware, they do require to be facing the correct direction. Otherwise, you can have some kind of weird problems happen just to do with turning on and off the taps. So easiest way I always remember it is I take once you get the new cartridge, you would take the flat portion and you would face that directly over this hole that is inside this faucet. Once the rubber seat and spring are in there, then you would place that in there so that this firmly sits down. And I'll just put that seat and spring. And there's a little trick that I've learned how to get these seat and spring in there relatively easily, because they can be kind of a bit of a pig sometimes, is I just take the end of my multi screwdriver, and I just take that and just fish it all at once, just to kind of get it in the right vicinity. And if you need another one to remove the rubber off of there, you just keep it like that. And then I like to just use my finger to kind of physically just make sure that it is in the correct position, which it is. And then, like I said, you would take this cartridge, have this flat metal portion above where the orifice or the seat and spring are sitting, and you'd press that back down in place as it is, and then you take your packing nut, put that back on, and then you'd tighten it up. These ones here, I would just, word to the wise, you can tighten them up with a wrench is ideal, like something like a spud wrench, or you can use channel locks too if it's not anything that's a beautiful color or needs to be nice and shiny. I would just be careful tightening these too much, because you can split this nut and then it's kind of game over from there, or you can actually wreck this cartridge setup. And then literally from there, you just take your handle, and it has the proper groove in it, so that it's kind of like shaped almost like the capital letter D. And then you just put that down on here, and then you tighten back up your set screw. Get it to a certain point, and I might as well put them both back on. And we'll take this guy here, put that one back on, get that fitting nice, and there we go. Yeah, generally I like working with Waltec products because they only have a few different cartridges styles. So you don't have to, if you're working on a Waltec or another brand like that is Moen, and they typically will have like maybe 2 or 3 different styles. They don't have a whole lot of variation over the years, which makes it nice if you ever got to repair them, because then it's just a matter of bringing one of, I don't know, 2 or 3 cartridges, and chances are you'll have the right fit. Obviously, once you get this all set back and ready to go, from there you would just turn the water back on to the faucet, assuming that it is connected to a water supply and stuff like that, and then you'd be good to go. Other than that, that's pretty much it for this video. If you can like and subscribe, and yeah, until next time.